On the Onyaya and Attorney General on filing Nolly Prosecutor. Na James Jachikwesi Asemno Onya Chridie. Agenda 111. 88 hospitals on course, 3 workers sacked, and also Edia. Kokrokoo dwumadi na waso egusu a utie sabre a yekasai nonkron apa ho sima enson nonkron apa ho sima enson ye ba betwetwe enkomo hyene nso se Kokrokoo dwumadi e de bre ona nope eye malatu ya eno achidi yare ebebo de a kai se edin ba akopɛ na achidi suro no kokokokokoko e wo Ghana ha eno ene malatu power over malaria. And I face a mobile money and a opesa we mobile money na aba wadwene mu dia mpacho kai ZP ɛno no charges no yɛ kete yɛ sɛ woanhwɛ koraa wonhu sɛ yɛatew zpay ɛna afei malatu adaworoma ɛna anɔpa yi mene mpanifoɔ yi ɛba bɛtwetwe nkɔmmɔ Honorable Frederick Opare Ansa ɛyɛ former MP sohumfoɔ somfo ɛna afei Professor Joseph Osafo Reverend Professor Joseph Osafo Edu, Head of Psychology Department, University of Ghana. Penifui na no pay many or more ebetwe enkomo. Onawo, mache.
Nana.
Number wapo.
Eradi adarum, ani mo mpaibo.
Yeah, dance so onye ho adade no pay.
Mo na me da masese mo so mama me kwan o mo big platform yi so say me promi minimum kakra.
Yes, so eya ho pa se enya suhumfo somfo se omrada ye monkomo eja
onye enka ne somfo
oda sosom once a teacher
always a teacher
the way they are obesomara na paja o party mu boko de
already adoruma bibia da se de da
yo ye fa firi o party mu anopai mo hye vet na se nhihye te se na enema te se o party mu
yo me da se I fa akwanya isu na me nchia tiefo nyina nkankan suhumfo ane party mati ahwiti Ghana fana yina mechiobia enchere kra na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ya campaign ya kwa probo kakra wo Greater Accra Hemsenra ne de bawie ti manya kwanya na mafaso na mada regional officers nyina boy yen mayenya access to the various constituencies and the constituency executives almost you could do GFL Council of Elders, the patrons, ahoro, literary area coordinators, police station executives. Me new be free. And a campaign team. And I'm 2 years long. Okay, organization ahoro omo a year. Kwanya constituencies if so share doctor and the team. Mefa kwanya is no matter bibia. Obama say dwumadie course no ase papa party no de meka say ejina na so papa say dia onim no bibia ekoso pepe say dia tese ekoso
ebia ka say time wa nipa dunson ekoko pre Franka Krafo di bre wa MPP amanyoko mu no eno ne mo hwe ase amwa mo ntinke bia sabio mo besua bibia afrim sisi esen du akwa na adu ana no say e so afrim ode no na napon was on na so afrim na ade aka it was honorable.
Well, it only shows how democratic your party no de bo e ho abrebia say e domofo kabi mamin kabi na at the base of your party no sabi obia enka obi kasaboa enhye obekaya sa nipa no ponam se no me edu nwotwe nanka
edunzon
nanka ai captain Grabi father teka ho na we making it through the vet na koka dunson te said ya we nso nka edu baako na emse ababaye edu sese na sa ade ni si echi no emse party no fa ne ho adwene se si ma ho kwan a obia beka se makobi and then it creates a certain impression to the general public. In the first instance no so when you trimpo bi sa ya hihye kuo ketwa bi a friend special delegates ewo party no free reforms 2008 2009 in conference ewo trade fair e de abase sa ekukuma no enko ne enko sone so na enkoka no more than enipa 5 na yam form unko election no di nyina ya ntiase hu se although OTD we say makobi we say min kobi ye koye vet ni ade the real election no ye de ba bi chusu Franka Tuniama MPP no nipa e be kosa contest no they will not be more than 5 and then the number of 10 11 ana enkane 17 ayete no and in reality no omoko contest no party no efa ne ho adwene e di free their 2-year 2008 election as a result of 2007 presidential primaries no ujitum say as a democratic party and governed by Ghana, a constitution, requires a internal party selection processes no must be democratic. No, into me, emfa and she bia meto ho say yeji sebi ebinom afrimu. This is the best process our party na to media to over the period. Yeah, the Juma 2010 and yeah, they got 2012 election. Yeah, the Juma 2014 abra yeah 2016 presidential election. No, and the Sabria assign atu ye kwan mu. Ebesa ya Juma nyame ya duma 26th August party mpanimfo ya nhyehyɛ ato hɔ. So obi biara obe go through the vetting process no. Mpanimfo betena ase asɔne so. Ansana election ankasa take place a year 4th November.
Nti ezia de mo twen August ba.
Yeah, twen August. Na yahwe omo ebe make it past the initial sieving process. And it so be obe go through that no truly no. Like say what to me akeka ne ho akanya ne ho enya a good base ewo party dem I say our fata say ono so be kone akwakoto ne so aba.
I see. Now finally on way no ja me so metiete mpanifo bi so omodi nkomo se nkebe ya August die party no nwene ho na akamonto no ewo central point se ebia mo be venue ba kwasi wo se sa special electoral college nya de edoso monto no faako eno no mumbe boa ma aba no emu ada ho fan sense bia ebeka se region bia nkohia na onto no de as a senior member of this party pachodena o kan fasa asem no
na minia nana
papa
abawe ye ba beto no I was 16 regions no normally sa na yeto no obi a oba be call presidential elections currently over 38,000 polling stations across the country. Obe what the responsibility say obe to me choose agents say training omo and monitor our elections over 38,000 polling stations. In fact, election nankasa cry be called you as flag bearer. It will occur at 275 constituency levels, including the national headquarters. Bemana 276. Now the Ayaba first round here just 16 centers, and then possibly the national HQ the 70. Okay. If you can't manage and ensure, say you can police the process, just 17 centers by November, how are you going to police the process at 276 centers? And then how are you going to finally obey a flag bearer, police the process at over 38,000? The easy polling stations no be will cross the 40,000 number. And although it's an election, it's also part of the process how they sharpen one kasa internal organization how they call election. In any case, Abana ya to be paying using the same format in 2010. I used the same format. And they are to be in 2014. And the proponents of ideas here in central location, is it because they think the process they choose another in 2014 to 2010 na a flawed and I say and they do baby before phobia sinti it is it to me a new formula ever. The constitution of the party as far as provisions we are concerned and society, and I don't see any presidency in our support to say yantono in the format I had to. I mean who any extraordinary reason I make say anuntino in I congregate one place in Kotoaba.
Ba do nya na nka Dr. Baomi afam.
Ba ja wo se.
Wo de nya na nka Dr. Baomi afam.
Oh, say me susuye ene me mpaebo ene adwuma me ye nyina no. De kwakọ wiwi ya ne say eti say doctor to me ewi ni. If say ne amihu baby amete, de amihu ene ne amete across the length and breadth of the country ni kire say ono ena say MPP eyi ne say Franka Tuni ebedi party na nimu a ebeboa ye party ne a single objective. It is to win power na yɛtumi use party no ideology and the policies no ɛde abuoman no nti nea yɛyɛ nyinaa no sɛ ankɔwie sɛ 7 December anaa whichever date a EC de bɛma ɛsɛ yɛto aba 2024 no yɛbɛwini elections ne deɛ na nea yɛyɛ nyinaa sɛbe ankɔsi aga nti me nsusuyɛ me calculations me bibia mahu no kyerɛ me sɛ Dr. Bawumia represents the best chance of the MPP to continue beyond the traditional 8 years swinging between the two major political parties, MPP and NDC. No, to me, after touring the country myself, and then the first phase of the campaign, Greater Accra region, the response, how I would see the message and reacted to the message, how would see the content of the message in who say it is going down very well with the party rank and file.
Ose niema otetie ne nea wo hunu no. Obetumi ne ya chakakra.
Well, first of all, a Brebia ne the kind of leader it could be and now might be expected to say omubenya. Mitie Montenso, mitie delegates, mitie party ma generally the ametie ne say do na feel say a breadthrough see abema obi ti say Dr. Bawumia ababedi party no anim ohwe Ghana abakosem mu ebu nkompo kohwe wachi a obehu say yenya a number of vice presidents abetwam eko na emprempren aye wo hoi say o carry omo nyina na the doctor so ka ho atutu ho bia obehu say sebi as vice president no odanso say ya kasa asem na yen kangu other vice president na betwam kono eho animu ase say bia obi baaye no wanyesi ana wanyesi ye ka e de kire say the office of the vice president no a very difficult office to operate from untumi mo wani ntra wani nton obetumi anya all the ideas I wo ewiase ha feel say wa ban ne dibu man na beboa but anya na we in charge you executive authority bia and so utumi de ahobrase obuo kwan so esre owura na omawa kwanya kakra bia watumi de bi aye adwuma amre bia atwamuko 1992 to 1996 he was president and the vice sabi ye nyina yetete dia akoso sutrobo ne ade nyina empo emse ekoba mu amre bia atwam bio ne wo vice president atamel sabrenso ekade nkadwuma no cross ode to ho office ne party ni mu NDC mu at the time na ebinom ema ne kwan mpo ma sebe onya adwuma obani out as vice president and there are a lot of policies are by a rolling out are directly no obetumi attribute to him and you odanso otumi edisa ahobrase obuo ani nidie amaniru amane kwan ma ehihia ahoro de aba ameka abroad the idea of drones eba ye nyina kai hula balua epeja wo man mu ekosi se ebinom kra wo NDC mu ese sebe se ma eko adwaya ye de drone ne be fastro na de akohwe o madager ana na asefim kakra and incidences of owo akobi ewo baby anti-snake serum eni ho ana oba ko awoso na sabi moja etu no yentumi mfa blood supply no ho ntem nyina ekofom efrise sa drones yi ana mewiem na ebo adwuma de di kan pa yesi na me consensus so hu mo manako sa no pa wi anwumre obehu sa tu na nam wiem ba bia beteki car ambulance mpo with the siren by 1 hour to get to drone it to within 12-15 minutes na wako drop your drone ho na de asa obi arrange nipa nkwa opani wo and iswadi hu without even having executive authority of mine what to me a day a normal be aba and I'm not in your bika about the digitalization agenda or champion. Na nipa ne ka so na say I digitalization there a process start here check. Na other na mo pese mo ka te say de bi a mo na mo invent digitalization. There be yan ka say Dr. Baumia be invent digitalization. You say we be champion that course to the extent say I wonder nipa dodo no matter the word digitalization crappy. But within the 4 years no what you may be as space na kusi say omampani who the need to even create a ministry to superintend over activities at ECOSO in that sector. First term of Nanado, near the Ministry for Communications. They say you're the Ministry for Communications and digitalization. I can go through a whole list of a normal Dr. Baumia, a champion in that space. And you can talk about paperless port, mobile money interoperability. The list is unending. We are talking of Obia Ghana for a party man who say or a good vision or when this wadi who I bet to me a boa party no. And no one thing. The other thing, even improving the electoral fortunes of your party. I remember call parliament maybe 16 years or maybe in parliament now old Northern region MPs are not free hoba just 4. Anna NDC for the remainder of those seats at the time. And they Oka 3 regions now are split it to form the from the former northern regions. Savannah and northern and the northeast. Kambu Mubaka. There were more seats. NDC you have 16 seats out of 31 and NDC for 15. 2020 abatwa ekoe MPP we need from the NDC 17 seats and a Jeffrey Omonsem. Quite a number of those seats save for Ebia Masamane Hohoi. The bulk of them are free north and the areas that have heavily populated by people of northern descent, Zongus, near there. You are talking Pru, Tachiman, Kintampo, near there, and then about 11 actually within the northern enclave. It is true, say, with the influence Kakra even then as a running mate now. The fortunes of the party in the northern within Zongus no, Essa. Obinka say something to do with tribes and religion. But he also mind when this before over the past. I call electioner. They can go to the north and put an account tag on the MPP. Say MPP for the account phone we free Buzi Abreso, the bar Victor Usu, the bar Professor Dubois Hinkufo, Nanadwa, Omo party. They go to voter region and do the same. I'm call in Zongo Moa. They tell them, say, go for the Omompe, that is the reason in Tia Obi who say, yeah, call electioner. Your flag bearer, we are generally a can Christian, a copy, a northern Muslim. I was saying this for a northern Muslim as running mate, because we have not been playing that kind of card against them. They are free to choose who they want. They don't carry the burden we carry. The views of people, they say, Drew bread, and so a cleanse from that. And who better than the person amongst the peers normal kono? It is clear, say, he stands tall. Look, Obianka say nipa contest, Obi nsem fata. Amu nyina se fata. Okosu huma Sutesco, uni mamumrane. Abenfo. Yeso omu nyina aben. But still oko class bio Sutesco no mo exams will be the first. So what I say. Because presec or that day nyina ya bin egu ho. Enso oko classroom bia yeye enso here obi the first. Enti we are saying he is first amongst equals. Odi omo credentials ni nyina gu ho na ohwe ba bia MPP ani kire ene ba bia Ghana ya dru nena. It is obvious say he is the best person to lead the MPP to have any chance at breaking the 8.
Okay. Answer the medical professor Osafo so no. Mo mope Dr. Baumia mo nso mo kan nyina chi. Omo nso so a enimu afa no. Asem ba kwa o maka e de abom so bo ne se ayete se de government machinery nyina ya hyeda epia omo se omo nta Baumia chi. Niema bi amoyeye badwam ni ade nyina kire se ase system no emfeva obi a dia ba kire Christ o ma be kan kan ho ye ne na no esi wo Asen North bia ka se adan na se yebema chivala na kasa ala ne kasa dru finfin ye Baumia ba na e ba sa no a sempo se Baumia na mo pe no so wi ni wi a mo be na ko mo maka na bo mbe ne amo mo maka ni nyina ba be kam ho mo aye adwuma
na
papa
me amete hey menye minister menye MP mini aban board bia so menye CEO so I am nowhere near government. In fact, many Lancha Martin 90 for 17 years, from 2005 till last year. And Sana, me decided to be a party yedri. Me ankasa me de mani a form me de masoto forma. Me feel said this is the direction ebe boy. And yes sabi sika pudu obi no obi akukuru e de ama me say brana be di oyechi da bi. Politics are me no me de madwene and enya me kuma. Enti metumi adobi. But when all the writings on the wall show say a hundred is here kwa, a hundred is here ko. Let's say you no try painting that picture now. May a very senior person in Dr. Baumia's campaign, a very integral part of the setup. Meaning smelly a buying sour on the campaign, and I mean who any machinations or a buying. In fact, I don't even remember the last time Meka say mene aban mu mpanyimfo bi kra mpodi enkita ho. And so me two studio ha kra na me frɛ e coordinate a movement a pese ye wo Eastern region ene Ashanti region. Enti anya no kreda. The atisi ye hu ne say as we speak majority of members of parliament support Dr. Baumia. But it is also true say bakwa na mienu bi support other candidates. In fact, candidates na say contest no members of parliament eka ho bi. Jomo wona mfofo ne omo etu anamo ba ko mienu bi omo so support o menya sure so obi akoye obi han. There are ministers of state and miankasa media mani ehu omo e some of the works our candidates ni bi are organizing. Omo work freely. Obi ankonko tata obi say na no mi hu say asomasi ye na work yi na odimu akoten enti kotra fie ebi si ye minim CEOs are a lead aspirants be other than Dr. Baumia campaign. If it comes to it, I have names, I can name all of them. Say CEO we support to candidate we, minister we support to candidate we, MP we support to candidate we. Ebi ani ho obi aham also. Na say kobani say dodo no decide say ye de e feel say ahana e kwa beboa. Me feel say boni nim. If so obi enyai enko say bi a sebe aban sika say eno na ode tie doctor chi. You're running a campaign. There are programs I've had to cut because funding that budget no ebeyedi. It's just as other candidates any constraints in funding or campaign operations no. Yes, you have similar challenges. Minya my running my ops movement across the whole of the 16 regions, but funding arrangement, budgetary constraints. That's some cutting innovative ways you bet me they hire some of these operations. In Janya no credit say a buy move for a swarm of establishment to be a scheme be towards Obi. It is most unfortunate the incident is here I say North that day. Personally, I wasn't there. I'm home for me. Papa Ntiname war and crying. But I have followed through. I know doctor himself has even personally spoken to some of the aspirants, explaining, he said, Onwan Kasakra didn't know what went on. Sabi, you know, politicians, a campaign. Me do my campaign ground as MP. I have no idea where I'm being led through to even get to the days. Me team I want me home and I demand them. I'm only organizers of whatever programs and so on, and they communicate. But who said national organizer of the party? Abba out. Abba apologizing to Honorable Alan Chiramating for the interruption that he suffered during the delivery of the speech. You know, me grana me hear Kwanzenka or follow up with an apology also to the vice president for causing him this embarrassment. If you say it wasn't the vice president's doing, Mona mo organizing the event as national officers of the party. Mona mo chre ebra obia de bedru ho ne baby omudru ho a ombefa de aba days ne so. Your vice president ne pe and ode ekofa baby ko ati say offer. But it also goes to tell us earlier on America how difficult the position of the vice president is. Vice president, maybe some incidents. One president, left an event. A free event, Remember, said by national constitution, the president takes precedence over every person in this country. The convoy, but so be Amakwai. They were all from the same place, going to the same place. It's the president's convoy taking precedence arrived first. It is the only path, and so aircon. Now, offer. Meanwhile, it is also against protocol. Say President Beko transfer baby na fe na vice. But also another matter. And quickly, the organizers for say the moment vice mfa actually ha quickly don't to me do days and so and go jano. It is not vice team. It is not vice himself. Say from so be more because organizers, and I'm happy. Said the national organizer of the party has come out clearly and apologized to Alan. Except Mimi feels to say the apology no extended to vice president. So to say, look, in himself, sorry for also causing you this embarrassment. But the important thing, I try say, I'm any capital gain in our campaign. She realized and they say, your cause BB. Now, a public ridicule. It doesn't go to ridicule one person. It's a ridicule on the entire party. Yeah, party organization. The fact say was between two individuals. Don't let us say try say you be use Adiana pitch them against each other. Party internal factions therefore at the formative stages of party. It is natural. When group way. At that time, because of collaboration, trying to get a certain objective near Kaboom. But a better point being because of competition, and you see these groupings come at each other, kakra, and only end it is up on Chintokwa, Omasokosra, Wajana Boko. One way now could do that third stage, which a lot of parties are afraid of, the degenerative stage. Na afei ya twene tan ade no so twene tan abede beti etepe na I say ya wouldn't be paying as a party back in 1979, which led to the split of UNC away from the PFP election. They couldn't go. Luckily, all these elements saw it fit, eventually came back together in 1992. And I'll be seeing the Yakromu de say. My caution to all of us, you di a binum campaign nim, you tie a binum campaign chidende, and he said, Area Casamu ye, you're truthful so in somewhere ye about incidents see. If you say, you see you are saying north, it is not the first and it will not be the last. As we keep on congregating at the same place, these infractions, ebesi. I said they are saying it takrama, and our numana, Omwana, and I'm near the dodo and I will say a Cindy aga takrema bakubi sanity. But it doesn't mean say into being fit into the same space. In the same way, is here the management of it. No, I feel say very very important. So they are go beyond party boundaries to create a certain impression. Say MPP for your way home. Second, Ghana have you Fonka games. Okay. Friends of Nana, Red Regiment Rollins against get Atamils and Dos
game.
But when they finished, they came together. And even after that, then DC won the elections. Tianya careful kakra about how we handle our internal issues. It's important. I know, say, yeah, campaign we have some back channels to some of these other campaigns. Let us maintain these back channels working. Now, yeah, sure, say issues we know about crop ya back me no me ensano. To me adawse no. But rest assured, all of the campaigns say, as far as me the mehunde, there's no government or establishment machinery behind Dr. Baumia's campaign. I've always said, say, one of the important things I believe in an election is to create a level playing field for all aspirants, so Bibe Lusua, Manin Lusu believing say he had a fair chance, so that Uye now Neneko Kasaseminia agroni ye bra near in quite to be easier. Na Uko Chinchim Obinsa now ko GBB feeling semwa Sebe Enya Nede. And an anum bu baby says a Sisiba groomer at the Kutukushan to mum. The men translate Massebe, sir, and 70 be ANC. If your company are you're fine, we are doing it just like any other team is doing. Indeed, the other campaigns should rest assured, say, we are all in the same business together. We want to appeal to the delegates based on the strengths of candidates, no, and get as many to understand as before the D-Day.
Before the D-Day, as some honorable Fred or Pare and San Eddie Atuja, I don't know. I remember Prof. Akwaba na fe menka messages kakra and sana mama na kwanya mo no so Eddie aba. Prof.
Hey, Cardinal.
Prof. Prof Mache.
Major so. Na Okunku ni poop sede. Say Cardinal for the yana mben.
Sisi a wa hyese. Se wo ye Roman sofo.
You.
Na wo bo hu musuo. Na yesi e di bibia ba ya son dem ho. Say eye LGBT ho ni bi. Na wo ye mistake say wo entertain this idea no say wo be shire bibi so a etesa ma.
What's that matter?
Sada no account yourself out.
Hey.
Any abiri.
I don't be so critical.
Very critical. Very. So we have a call there.
We're going on.
Yeah, the radio say. But remember also say anafi yet any also work. But this one says Chairman General. Okay, Chairman is not here this morning. There's no doubt the VIP is doing very, very well. However, the way his supporters are going about his flag bearership race will seriously disadvantage him if he doesn't take measures to curb the annoyances. Apiaji Edwi Efri Sunyane. Some chiefs want to make the headlines, and the only way to become popular is to dig deeper into politics. Cardinal, I think Jachi Kwesi's issue must be handled independently by the court and not by a chief Gasti man in Brekum. Nanaya, please tell him, that is Honorable Fred Opariansa, that either Kennedy or Japan. Tell him that either Canada or Japan, or they forget breaking the 8. Okay, lie in Tema. Also, the other, I don't know. Good morning, the Cardinal. At this juncture, what MPP needs is unity and campaign without insult and acrimony. Everything is possible. Or this year, Jabin, anyway, if we hachu and a buy. John Mahama and Nana Akufo-Addo, former and sitting Ghana president, both degree holders and better in knowledge than Joe Biden. Senior high Okay, I think I have to look at this again and come back. Sorry. But your baby phone, the moon training, Farouk Intema says, fantastic submission from Honorable Fred Opare answer. Indeed, his maturity in addressing the Ascend North protocol issue is on point. Kudos to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and his team. Indeed, it is possible. Farouk, anyway, a free tema. This one says, thank you, Accra delegates, for making Dr. Baumia's tour of the region successful. God bless you all. The next regional tour is my only Ashanti region on the 6th July. And anyone who is appointed, okay, I say on the men fan kaho. Lamte King Rashid, anyway, every tema, and or the Lamte, minim say, wow, betias ye the India, I say hono, menfa enkaho, yentrain, inabutra, edea, and also a bedroom, na yakaho asem. Reverend Professor Ozafo,
the Cardinal.
Mebacho, Marching,
I say one day, Kokrokoo ni Pope.
Aye.
What the answer money are to you?
I made that.
And I just say, romance of Obia, Obo whom Sweden and Wawasam.
Okay, Prof. Ebebacho Oba na me Honorable Fred Opariansa aiding komo efa MPP4 primary see ehun ene some if mu ba na no mo share vet na say the aspirants no omo chances obia campaign team dey free mu ba na no asemo isi wo asen no nim so hwe bia eno so ehun asem bia kan say a complete humiliation for Alan Chermatin na Baumia boys and a shedda yes I did nanka any say esi pacho mamiti wa dwenche osa asem we hu afi wi a na yaba domahene and matters arising from Ascend North
na michia etifu nyina em say last week na me oha na manwie kura na me sorry na ade atomani enti meguso ewo studio ha make us na menya course mini baako wadan de benkum so na chese na wose me free hand ma na meko until last week me enwi me ne chairman general na eche no ene be ka ho asem ba na now guy say me bo amane say me brother ere baako Porters Village
bacho ai me kai ba
ama ye kra na actually kra 29th April afia 26 na hoka fonso my brother so no so atwa nti wa hwa I just say na arehwa kanipa double jeopardy
wow
na arehwa kanipa na just say up and down there na I was in the paranibi nti you go so to niema be my tifu atena adofo abechamaye
wow we dey amudue
we dey very unfortunate nti miss the yawadu ampene just wadana benkum so
na otwa wi enso na AI papa Professor Kofi Ejekum
the same week na just many openyi kura kasa say ne ba
Lubofo
ne ba penyi ba say Lubofo so ono so sa openyi ye fasa akwan so na ma odue due ni amane hunu nyame chiche oyere ene oyere ne wabusu nyina breaking the 8 nana in fact mini opare minshia no me first time minshia ni nana me ba na me ka say nana akomia na e kasa wa ne voice ne pa and when we say nana akomia de nana akomia was this very sweet gentle way of talking and I think say ejo pare will be and ejo pare me bo abaso okasa fine it's good okasa de obi abiti nti me sheda tie anya abufu ena ya atemdedie ena ya ni mutwie ena ya ni muka I think said the be American politics be econo exchanging of ideas and it say mete say okasa on fa wa koma enwurem what do I dream with them no I was happy and you know nana me bona baso okasa yi
say oh say mamenya bias kakra wa
edi bias
o de twen o beti ase Prof Edin Frederick no
all tracing historical.
A peaceful leader. There can't be a Frederick or rowdy. It's possible.
Who should be down?
Oh, there can't be.
When
no. I'm fine to know.
I'm fine. It's a good one. But Nana, me calm. I'm very calm and straightforward, but very, very critical also and deep. And I think Campo more good tool there to engage. But Nana, young issues no so. Me can say Ebra MPP declare breaking the 8 no. Me kai a T4 and a partner. Me can say a few things will go against them, but it is a challenging and kind of say ambition. Say party ne beka say ye second term na ye hwe kwan say enyuma ye ne kasa ne Ghana for akasa nsa woso ani mu enya no wo mbehwe eso na masana to abade ama another MPP leader na wato so na sabe yampanyifo ka say yamfa anufu ene to be and me can say it's good. It's a very noble ambition. It's very good. It's challenging, but it will stretch the party. Now it can stretch her, and yeah, in terms of resources, but in terms of ideas, in terms of emotions, a bit stretch on. Now, Miss Ankan, we have you say, it may require a new way of thinking and a new way of action. Tien can just say we are breaking the 8. Now you can try us. Na I say slogan be a yet to Guabonte breaking the 8 and on the said the attack if wishes were horses beggars will be riding in the air but wait to me aka na kase ebeyeho because last week or so eba hana ya mame refinity honorable and hana all about
Gifty Chumambo
or a lawyer
Esla
Baby.
Fati,
yeah, Mrs. Fati.
Yeah.
And Fati say, also, I say no for the HS. I been.
Oh, yeah,
And I'm you. I'm say, hey, Fati. Also, I'm say, come catch me. Say, na I must. I say, I baby. And I say,
me I over 2 minutes more first. Also. Ed but yebefa. And I'm say, hey, Fati.
Hey.
Also, Rabeni Jai yebefa.
Also yebefa.
Fati Abubakar, Deputy
Fati me here how I
don't pay. Yeah, I'm watching.
He's a very sweet sister.
Olusuyo is my friend on fire.
On fire. Oh, Auntie Fati.
On 1 pound on friend.
Nanaya opera membrano. Entino. Na me ka ajepa Auntie Fati say it's good to wish yourself well. There's nothing wrong with that. Say ye jumaden na obo ankasa baso. Just sometimes I hear no one can know answer. If you say obeko baby no we two na mobi na entesa. And you can say breaking the 8 no be challenging. Challenge ni be started. Na e be started from the way competitors no. E binom if you say mo ho. Me can mo ho I can say be mo di mo ho na mo say mo si relate with each other. E be TTB enim ebi say we are yes say ebi say we are kwame nana ade ba ko ha any organization if you want to really stretch yourself say obese will reach a certain level your own internal constitution, your own internal structures. If it says ade begu a pro from within, most of the time at time for Ebeka organizations eguno they are not without. In other words, and the power of an enemy can be expressed and felt very much within. And it's a part no breaking 8 no say be reality. I think say Sophia Utu and Mobia, what are they doing with themselves? Na den na ekoso. Metisa case here, for example, ekupuye o breakumi. Na
asim
breaku rather breaku when him say yes be Dr. Baumia on ebinom contest for that position here. Kamedie as a neutral person and as obi am nim senior governance no nana so vice president edu bedwumua CBB agina anamwa you bet me about national anthem crowd because I represent it and an bedi or ye president on the can but my president ni wa on the and he say odu bedwumua say yes or contest here I mean say see you cannot ten party and could do be beer ubia bibia no matter who you are as I say uja de oye no to won say we enye ebia organizational flaws be neba hwa because e pitchy or no against Alan obviously given what is happening no Alan ne camp no will not also feel good they will not be fairly treated I say we should na to ne by but anka ne papa mu party Vice President Idu Bejumua, as I say, all the honor because we are not giving it to him, we are giving it to for the seater or occupier. No? And the Obia Obu Vice President, no Obu Ghana for it's not like another man. No, he's holding sa position in trust. And the yena ye diamaye. And the mestre say organizers mo say diamo ye no ebia aye camps na more organize but more careful we know a fight against your own internal stability it's not good because all can afenu you know any see and a face so no say say abasa akurempa minimum MPP for moment kai say the president vice president Baumia or ye vice president mommy yi ne condition in free hokuransa or your vice president. You won't say vice president and urban when he's coming in that office, not as an in the office of say or a potential competitor because after all you go to a bank where you want to say honor obey the flag bearer for the party, but for now not yet or a vice president. Now your manners are respect no. Say no, a vice president is coming here, not a potential MPP flag bearer. Of course, we say we're declaring any mini cracker say on a camp. There's nothing wrong with that. But Yemfias in treating say opinion or Sibu. Say I understand I'm telling MPP say the oil a sana na mucha to honor. Say they make say it will stretch them. Now stretch them stretch yet in terms of Sika and logistics. But in terms of those fine human qualities and attitudes are a Boma party a win elections. Now, so kutia area, and that's what, of course, the opponent would like to see. Say party now can say break it no kana mo kontoka. So they will leverage on that. Now, omo de etu na mo a ebebo mo. Enti eno no mesre say obehwe ne yi. Afei nana uye no free hon mo uhun say gradually no heat no eguso ba. Mate counter currents and they said hey bino kaso we yampe baby a ebeto on 1 point 16 polling stations meboa na we dia yampe baby a eba akoto mate say bi so we da bi ya ye na da ebetumi aye hano ya na have a thought be say usually you good to listen to counter narratives. Now, here say ideas are urban. You bet to me afa bribie free mwana. The intent is say. So we are DBA over the period. Now I say this is enough. Sometimes you may fail to review the process. Say, oh, na yen is an assassin. It be a no be fairly say process no yen fair. And this account it's okay. Can we get a place? Na ya to no once and for all. Na na me tie honorable Iba no ka say for example one of the reasons here among epese ebeto 16 regions na say an assistant station police stations na say ye pese nipa no a o se ento so aba na obeye a flag bearer franka to for the ama MPP no we want to test your ability to organize. I agree with him. We pese ye hwe say ubetumi ye de wo call 270 something constituency across our organization saying but they had a whole mess on say oriented from this other angle also. Say say ye be ye Frankatuni pa Nana say what team now only am organizing. They will see it, though they work with you, but they will see the way at the party nankasa exactly. And to know ubenya a higher structure on which you can flow.
Yeah.
And to say even if there are challenges kakra ewo one kasa wo camp no kra wouldn't win your kra those challenges and gaps no will be filled up. Say national pick you over.
I don't pick you over here. Now a campaign be free one some national structure.
Exactly. Into imagine say counter narratives no should not be discarded as a because the point is this obi who say onko 16 regions no ninyina no onya obi remember say amanfa koto bi akotue sika e dia register first I know 350. Look at this amount of money.
And I'm talking from 50,000.
And I'm talking 50. That's 400,000.
Yeah.
I call it that. And now obefa polling agents. Obi obiti moka in 16. I'm a casa because I'm looking at the monetization of democratic structures.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Somebody else must go for extra money. And here, casa this thing a critic pull on their mind because I may say. Leadership in Ghana is gradually getting commoditized and monetized. And to Wusika, now be to me at all way through. Somebody can pay for the system, maybe even more than 16 be to me. Of France may not, but the person may have ideas. And you know, why don't we look at that? It's a counter narrative because the near time since 2008, party decided to say this is the way best on this one, and if I baby 10 nearby, and if you say failure, yeah, to abano, particular polling stations. Can we look at those who are saying say this may be very costly? A be no be Jessica, nipa by 5 now, at most 5 a be shortlist. A be no be Jessica. Obi and Jessica pa, because I don't know ground to me yet. But it's because it be a second hope. And perhaps yen tears ankro from mama, ye engage you. Makase, breaking the 8 will stretch their psychosocial resources. And part of it is your ability to listen to counter narrative. Say, Obi say, me pese, we. Let me tell you something that happens when people feel that they are not being listened from a pure psychological perspective. Say, Obi, eka group. Na, uhum say, the oil ni no Obi embuanwa. The oil say, they will withdraw. Now, and you withdraw at the point when they become bitter, their withdrawal can turn into a tool against you. If you say, we want to say, they are now more tune econo, me dig a little bottom menka. And the end, sans swimmers be near and the say, because in a boy, me, we are visionary. And the woman say, Ariana, gradual not necessary. And I think, say, and yet a bad suggestion at all. Say, can we have a place in Abeto? Now in create that, level ground. Obia, okay. They want to mean call 16 polling stations. No, ye ni na ebe ne hano. Na ode pobia obe police at the amount. Na obia who say yapoano. After all, at that time, no, and you're gonna put in a network. Mr. Mekan Legito. Now, no, dear more, ye shamo. Oh, and me person before I say between now and the time Ghana form to about their mom. Every action of theirs, Nana, is an advertisement of their liability or their resources. Action be because I am judging. So I mean who say party no e kon tokwa we now must say breaking the 8 no if they can manage themselves, they can manage us. And in some say action be to be now when in your first party and your first election here when your second you re-election. This is asking us to try you again the third time. Now Ghana first of all first time can want some, second time you can want some. What's the trial? Third time you must have something extra to show us, and that extra is a challenge I'm throwing to them. Say They are one year, they are more to see they are advertising themselves. They are marketing what they can do. And they say, Obi Kojina baby, Nasabi Odidi me fan se bia Yura Alanchimati atem. And now the vice president atem. And now the Kennedy Japan atem. And now Kafa gonna be a deal on atema. Uncle say, oh, look at them. They are not ready for us. Now, see ya na omontem to no. The next government, they won't try it. And Monshare honorable, Monshare the current Niamane, it's me pay some of you mudimina no a bois. Monshare the current demeanor vitriolic speech in the language I read ebano and because you are selling to me. Me am here floating with your material. Maybe I bet me family so your dorsal. And the Mulusumia. Ana muluzi enkrofo me se me ka se meto ma MPP na NDC a enkrofo a met me influence eso edoso me gina class na me ka che me school for say monko ebi ntie ma de bi so betie. That's an interesting thing. So enti mo hunu say this third tema musiki no is not an ordinary thing, because naturally the facts must be two terms. You already have certain factors by default against me. Say yako second term, third term there ubia beka say oh yeah tie. And we need extra action. Bribia a traso more organization, more kasa, more relationship. Can we say ba me share can say ala Ukraine omoye mo to. Do you know the message they are sending to us? So, oh, you are welcome. Wonderful, my brother. Okay, I'm interested now on Twasso. Do you know what the message you are sending? You are sending a very powerful message. Say, and Crawford, they are very good. They know what they are up to. But if you say, you're near who now you're so yeah, vice president now, Diana. No, Sabi, you're any age from one. Now, assemble ye Casa, they actually Ghana for, say into your swabber. And your opponent will pick it up. No more picking up. No more deco. And that was my son fly be.
Bachoine.
What was that flyer?
Bachoine.
Nana then also.
Meba. Conference. Me who conference be?
What do you be now?
Me san kosubium. Pacho. Or hefa hauni. I say National Development Conference 2023.
Okay.
A theme: Moral Vision and National Development. Date 26th to 27th July. Okay. 2023 Pentecost Convention Center.
No, I'm waiting for the organizing.
Pentecost Convention Center. They say Pentecost wasema. The Church of Pentecost.
Then yeah.
National Development Conference 2023.
Na your team no.
Theme they say
moral
vision and national development. In fact, mahunu
also.
But mahum papa apostle nyamche wa ha. Mahu omampeni na nado wa ha. Mahu papa kofo wa ha. And mahu omampenda da JDM. Mahu omonso wa ha. Ase ha no. Ase ha ndi edoso. Edoso bebre. Mahu Speaker of Parliament. Mahu Chief Justice. Mahu Professor Dr. Kwabena Puni Frimpong. Okay. Mahu Chief Imam ne customer for Shekarome Yao. Okay. Mahu no wa ha. You had a deal in Shadanya Club, Papa. Afini does so we have in does gift Afini does in a while. And then to shake Aramia right, and I know when the dean in your club, Papa, the name is mentioned that just a titrua. Nana, oh yeah, I didn't hear Sadi. O man kaboom.
That's the point. Yea, as a church, your robe are quite a bit me idea bought or mine say. Nana Maka, Namin can you say Africa. Ye challenge kakraka e prayer pa e leadership. Akendi. Say ye leaders say ye di bibia mom so won ye. Na ye ntiase say ye as a church ye say role ba ko na ye play no. Enche 2024 say ye nya date na e beto aba ye ko to aba next year. Na say ye fear say e wo ye ho sika na we krampo de ye enye between ye and this grants ho. We ye ngan kasa ye ho. And if you cannot pull yourself together, come now will be your box na ne ring on the side no. On say corner hono no. Me share if is a boxing competition me fi. Akwana ono no ni coach no ni team na
ono ne corner no.
Corner no. Omo sis na ni na omo ne kasa na wato ne sambo ba ko. ono ne ka na ho na ye bo no na ba come no ato no say now e ko na ho no I'm not surprised ye bo no omo na di nkomo
say ebi so a omo hwe bo a ye bo no so yire ho be yi no ono so hwe bo a ye bo no
ono no to nensa and on your air contokwa eventually no ye man knock down because so corner ho no say ho ya e be ye den say obi win the game and ye 27 to 28 of July ye decide ye to oh mpanyifo na eba no yira mahama kra eba bi na na do no o da so na yetu anambo hu say amanyosem no na amanyosem enye bado na ade ye kinkan ade abonsam ye wo heaven o ka say den it's governance or say I will exalt my throne above the almighty your governance issues and the politics is not demonic. Yes, is I obey a politician just a demonic. Yes, I was saying so. Pro. I mean, you're very decent man. When you shall politicians in our say, you're not correct. It is said to be a case as of when you're pro, and you're not correct. Makase, the presence of the counterfeit is just an attestation that the original exists. And say, be now a counterfeiter. And just say,
Prof, can be the
presence of the counterfeit is just an attestation that the original exists.
Thank you.
And you know, be a counterfeit now say, oh, I say I can when you now say, oh, boy. Or no, non copy ni or a counterfeit. But the original phone and Casanca, oh. And the Yantia say, a man, someone. Ye, Edia building or mine. A man, yourself, politics must build a nation. Ye, Edia build your mind.
Now, mine, am I on a or mine plus you?
Or mine, ye, mine, ye, build a mine. And to say, MPB say, Ghana fui more and so yen tribute. Ajena 111, you go so yet free SHS, you go so yet. I think, say, if you look at some of the communicators in the party now, it be no more than power. Say, Omondi in Yuma, Nanado, Nana buying, a buy a Wayeno, and a decasa. A be so the Kutruku. A be the Mpoetra. Ebi yes ani man ena ye kone sapa especially amongst I'm not talking to NDC grandson, I'm talking about ye nuanom MB before ye kone sapa among kai say me ameti hey mo convince me say men so mo hwe enti convince me ma dia no mon lift game no mo me en kontokwa because mo tete na mo koi enti mami bibia make say me class na me kire me master student me PhD students and first degree students met me a catch mo say hey minimum say munina mo to ma MPP there but minimum me yitum say they can be the next government mo goto man na say mo fia say mo ne mo ho kontokwa emwa and this program you know you be invite omaba omunina me nui obababi me say no these are good persons.
Why bet me baby?
Oh, na sick me ba make am hasam. And if I could share nyama ya doma organize a chairman.
I am me invite me.
Esa oba. Na se na wa makura na.
Pesa me tra na me hade na me ti ade.
Oh yes, na oba. Na say when we get actors like this, wo miniature na come here. Say enkofi ba we be mbo akon.
Dr. Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon. When Gideon is talking, you see issues. Na sa ngro for no enye be mo nkwa na mo. Some of them are also in the NDC. They are issue-based discussants. Just say, or can someone and you say, or do at them, or they are critical. And they would see ye now in a noa or boomua near Queen. No political party will ever say, Mommy in Shia near her choir, a better sank Ghana. I'm telling you, no party will do that. Even if some want to do that, there are good members in political parties. This and Mama say, Masa, that's not the way to go. I mean, when you say they have NDC people who talk to them.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And they also have MPP people who talk to the NDC.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Because there are people who think that this should be beyond partisan politics. Where a national issue. Tia makwai ma won fa we nko na bi ye be catch MPP for no ma catch no ye be catch this no ma catch no enti mesre NPP me repeat me de manusi say efri ne ekosi 2024. Every action of yours, some way leaders, some way ordinary supporters, some way DC, there come ranks. I'm feeling in a monk. Say action be a marketing action, a advertisement. Moyen year or buy into it. Now, my movie as a church said, yeah, Benny, a bin with you on Matamana, yeah, vice president, that's not the way to go. Let us respect Ghana first. Now, Yama say, a choir ambassador, moving we need 8, no, and you decent. Now, you want to say, Ampa, MPP has really broken the 8.
Martin, Prof. Honorable Fred, also can be
very, very quick reaction. They did comment that only Prof in us about the nice comments about me. Anya Bribiana Okasavia, Unyani Pakansempa, but I am there, Sir Prof. Raising a very important matter concerning whether we should have a special delegates election at a central location, and I say we should have it in the 17 or so polling stations that I may describe it. Prof,
yes,
it is still about the very issue now. Cost.
Okay.
Political parties, how do we fund in programs? For instance, you call special delegates. If you call the actual election to select the flag bearer. Now, I say you charge aspirants
you see 400,000,
about 400,000. So 10 of them, that is about 4 million. That has been raised in terms of filing of nomination. Now the process to select the flag bearer, what is the cost, and where is the party going to get the money from? When you bring everybody to the center at one single location, fancy delegates fee upper east, upper west, western north, the transportation to get here, you can't ask Obi Ofi Borga an hour. So Omran crying, and now Kumasi, Emetwaba, don't come back the same day. Typically, see your national conferences are some of those persons ebinumudi by 2 nights.
But Adena Accra na NS a more central location.
I said Accra and now Kumasi.
Okay.
I used different.
And
wherever it is, there are people coming from locations where they want to make man sign.
Okay.
And those kind of events, by their very nature, and it's an election, it takes time. It one host, some of them will be hosted overnight. Some of them will be hosted at least one night. Plus the distances involved in terms of transportation. That is why the party felt, and I was a member of National Council for 12 years, from 2009 to 2021. These are things National Council has exhaustively deliberated upon. It is cheaper for the party to split it out and have the elections held in those locations. Even for places like Eastern Region, Ibia delegates be from plains, Abekrensu Abba. Oyen and Temo to me Abba, as I catch the last pontoon and go back. So you may not have to incur those costs. Even for places like Dambai, Obi to me and Fikitikrachi, across Abba and Opa, Abetuaba quickly, Ako. But when you take it further, your cost goes up, your accommodation comes in, all of that will have to be borne by the center. Until ultimately, nipa na okase wakutua say na ebia onya resources no. If the party from the onset had in mind say near there, then those fees would have even gone more higher. Now the other side, then they say the 4th November election, which is actually the actual election for selecting the flag bearer. You are talking over 200,000 delegates. There's not even any stadium in Ghana that can hold that number of people. Beyond Kumasi, stadium be able to hold even 60 or 70,000 people. So it's obvious that it will have to remain constituency based. My argument then was that Obeko an election itself, where you are going to have about 276 polling centers that you have to monitor. Now, there is a selection process for you to become part of that. And that selection process says, show your capacity to even do 17, monitoring at 17 locations. If you are unable to do 17, then you have no business even contesting in 4th November, where you have to do 276. Indeed, I idea, and yes, I agree with you. It is a but Nipa I can same way, a lot of them have been at National Council when these debates arose. They know it is more expensive for us to do it centralized. And I'll give you one instance. In 2014, Brian Yakwako Abana Eyi Afuku as chairman. National Council, National Executive Committee met. Jake and I chairman, and they decided say Eniska, we're a party in opposition. In the Yanyan conference, no, there were 10 regional capitals na keke. That cost them raffle. I was the person who wrote a petition to National Council and said no. The party's national conference is an annual event. It comes on just once a year. So whereas a year more expensive, it is also an opportunity for party executives across the country to meet each other face to face at least once a year. So no matter the cost, we have to do it. Indeed, Ijnaso Emma Minority Caucus, he decided say we will bear a portion of the cost because then there was a balance of it. Honorable Kofi Osayameyao offered to pay the difference. And if you agree back a bra or yes or back presidential wedding, we also meet you he said the party owes him money for the Tamale conference in the own year because he said bridge upon then give him how do you call it? A waiver because of the money owed to him. So the Tamale conference was paid for partly by the Minority Caucus and Kofi Osayameyao and a few individuals in the party who did. But I insisted, said no, as for this one conference, the opposition the Eniska there, but it is a otherwise, it is always cheaper to have a distributed the cost-wise which you were hitting us with, better for us to do it that way. A bit of sabi I will create impression be to say there be episode use the system, the executive structures of the party to their favor, but it is not so. For me, if anybody advances an argument, as I said earlier, which shows it will be better for us as a party to have a centralized election, I'll be willing to hear. Like I advanced that argument in 2014, it is best to have the national conference at one location, which eventually turned out say Yakoya Watamali. And National Council listened.
Okay. And just a quick one, and I thank Honorable for the extensive clarity. But cost benefit analysis, you can share. One of the ways of silencing people who will be making a lot of creating a lot of problems for you, is to let them get facts. Because when people don't have facts or they don't understand, they tend to speculate and that's exactly what you have said. I knew say when be asked once VIP Becca say Obekoindie, people will think say the system will favor him more than them. And even if it is not, that's what they will think. And they're entitled to their opinion.
That's right.
And maybe it will be good for you also to let the party structures party leadership say some of this cost should be communicated easily.
Yes.
Say you had the cost of doing this in a centralized location. You had again even not. Let's look at the risk in transporting people from exactly. Maybe every Tamale, every Boga, or all the way to Accra. and then Kumasi, the hours they will spend, hours lost to job and productivity, the risk say and by all means, maybe I'm gonna break it down. And the cost na say nipa no the convenience. Say me free, me fee ni. Me for Uber 10 minutes. I'm paying let's say 20 cedis. As compared to me call Accra, na me to 500. And no come compare baby near for ske2 bokora bem. I said because they are cool. And if I cash bana. And you bet me I cost just on the paper. So this day social media circulates. Look, this is the cost. So you see a PC and say this is how much we are spending. And remember, so the party will have to fund the main election next year itself.
Over 200,000 delegates for just the
Monday.
November.
One Monday, our basic idea party and funding. The party will have to find a way of raising money. It makes a lot of sense to me. Say, anyway, but I think say, Emma Emuna ho fine. Say, Wentina. Adia no yes. Say, Mama yankosa we pa party me boka. Nana, over to you.
Over to me, Mate. But maybe honorable parents are most more drinking. I never go to a morning home. There was a discussion. Korea money say, "Me makase about we amuko to be or 5 week robenya 0. Obi or no
Obenya
0.
Oh, 0 se kwa na
0.
0 dey impossible.
Oh, prof.
Na na ono anto amana ho.
Enyo omu nyina na vote.
It is possible.
Enyo omu nyina na vote.
Ono anto amana ho.
Enyo obi na.
Enyo omu nyina na delegate. Omu vote.
It's not all the aspirants who are delegates.
Okay.
So some of them
that's possible.
It is possible.
That's possible.
You grab it to me a cabo, it is possible.
Anyway,
it is possible.
Zerupa.
Yes.
Now also go high drink again.
Esa binim. Omo mu ko ebi.
Obenya zero how high drink.
Prof. Na ga zo mu di obenya zero woni.
Nana. Asem dey o ma asem na
Prof man mo pisa.
Na obenya zero how high drink again. Oh,
Mr. Prof. Hwe peneje kum na kada so nsuo emfa masan. Nsuo emfa masan.
Oh,
obi ho obenya zero.
No benya zo koye den. Nana mentasi o.
O di ase o.
O ko be un se benya hwe. Enti o ya be o koye den.
We no nim. Me pese me kama ati ase yi pa ho. O ti ase a wa anwene ho. O dwene ho a wo nte ase.
Okay. I get it.
Bizarre. Me contestant ba ku bi mre bia osu. Because I noticed that Ojirama party but he wasn't going anywhere. Onya campaign onya hwi. Na kro ba me channel bi say na dey as a free bia how contest na. So I go campaign. Was honorable. For her records dream. Me do history every time.
That is
somebody's way of putting his name into the history
right
book.
Into the history books.
100 years from today.
Once upon a time.
Who are the people who contested?
Okay.
So back to that argument. Nipa no he obi benya 3. Obi benya 1, obi benya 5. Okay. Sa nipa no genuinely worry you. But ebia na bibi kitwa bi na okwa akogina so aka say senkamu ye we a kamenwe anamu eno so kra no ba be ya asem foforo kra mo no so ka ese mu hu se obi a ono mo nya adwene so no obefa ono so ne de no e de ya asem ne bi aka and ono so ka anye bia na betumi ato nipa ba akwa na mienu bi trim a bi anka sa genuinely sa nipa na bi a afeda bi ka ba to bi obe consider so obe to ama wo but o ma no kwan e ma na ka sa asem no ankwa wieye nteche na obi anya de ka asem Sesa special delegates about 1,400 and something votes. Ntenya ade e doso.
Enumbo
1,000
and something.
Okay. Ntenya ade a ehye da doso mbrusu bia. Enti no minimara de but se ekoba se mo san hwe sa ade no biom a mo ma no nya moden. Sa mo behwe. Because bia na ebebo am to say the prof can say mo ho mponi. We nya se so mo hwe ye nto am so. So enti se mo ankyere bibia ebe me hu se mo wo bibia esese Ghana for e consider so mo de beto am so a na mo am ho mpo no mo ntimi ense sa adwene man ka okay e bia nka me position ni but be overriding argument aba it yen fan to ho na yen hwe the extra a year
me gidi say Dr. Baumia has in an elaborative way has laid out clearly a normal yebejina so dia campaign sabi aban ya bona homode papa yin na yin the unfortunate events ato ye kwan mu so ati ase enti there was some you nyina so and I believe say by the time yebeji internal contest no every kwan mu no again economy itself is in a recovery process amount for so hwe sa no mani nyina say yajitum say nyamona mo de covid by enya mona mo de Russia and Ukraine ntaw by and this is so boni abre amansan nyina
mabro
I can't home be prof emu ha me call Nigeria election monitoring
okay
and prior to that I had been a member of ECOWAS parliament for about 9 years from 2011 to 2020 and what I saw in Nigeria in February this year as opposed to who over the past 9 years that I'm ECOWAS no. And at the
in
same,
terms of development?
No, in terms of the effects of the pandemic, Russia-Ukraine war. Any also attempt at the time at changing our currency, then you easy. I felt blessed. Say, hey, currency as some be paying. Russia-Ukraine war, COVID, so I can't, but I had the anosh. So what I say, beer. Yete yedi emunti no say free hanko baby emaye emfo obedient to ode ho a na ye wo say na ode their practice
na ebi nso so a na wo nso so na wo nso so na wo so ahenche no a Russia Ukraine na beto no ebi nso so a wo so wonwen ho say esese wo kire wo manfo mo te ase say Russia Ukraine my say na yete hana na yenam e ba say na expect say magic be automatic be say
obia beti ase
say Russia Ukraine be aba be do say e bia mo ankasa so no mo nhwem hu yie na mo nhwem da ubo yie
me ne o ya adwe na na me hope say by the time I be yi sa internal cancy every year so be wie no na fe e benya kwan say there as one people no we face a common opponent NDC any other be a smaller parties ebeba into the election no ye wa sudi say ebema Ghana fo hu ne asi ankasa and not be a ye kakra ye te ho a omo ehu no ko ye be tutu kwa me ye say anything panifo sabe we've been seeing videos of Mahama kasa outside the country and attributing certain things the effects of COVID and the Russia-Ukraine war on our economy but ye bedru na the story no
how do you on cancer
anyway yes our contest here be this benya kwan ya church Ghana for mu
dey me be kan free mu mieru nyina mo common friend ho nti mu nti na mo fa mo adwen fa ho yese mu betimi ehuna greetings to Honorable Frederick Opare Ansa, one of my respected seniors in the 7th Parliament. Now to Prof. He probably doesn't remember me, but Prof was a prayer warrior, dragging us to Legon Park every dawn to pray.
Hey, now when
he was my pensa mate from 94 to 98 in Legon. That man, I am not surprised. Ochema Boaje.
Oh, I got him. Magic of hours. Ochema na be. Hey, I got him now. Ochema ni we ni Bantama. Oh, could be ana.
Not that I know for
I
now.
I don't think so. Sharp and brilliant man.
Very smart guy.
Me sure so be kwa catch him, but onyankan.
Oh, Ocham, send me we na.
Daniel Ochema Boaje. But also what Afro, but e bia won share dan share the number.
Oh, send me WhatsApp.
There be me the number no be.
Mama na.
But you send no hi. Why? Who send the message into me
papa.
Me the number no be ma. Me the number no be.
Maybe papa. Oh, Ocham.
Okay. Honorable friend, me pacho minim say what do ma hene ne nasama waka fa Jachiko isin ho and some amanfo aka ede afa eho mama ntiu wadwen wo saa asem no na fe yemfa ntu apo anope
no cranny the issues are sometimes about on my more say bibia ya pese the partisan politics sometimes I have my reservations and disagreements about it. Mimi nyayanka even a braya call as a North Grananka. The issue of pending criminal investigations will be a gamamumpo because it's a matter of between the state and Onipano. Nana say emra achiwa na okokota. Evan say waba mi fia be we are there na machiwa na me de police. It is no longer a matter between Onemio. A matter between you and the state. So what I say? Unless say do baby me as be the principal witness Makakodia dance ama state you know. I decline to press charges in D.
Right.
I refuse to say men konkodia dance here. Now ma on my case no. I say you have to assume and then they may have to stop prosecution. But I'm running chiwa. It is between one or mine. That is how they prosecute all these cases in the courts. The unfortunate aspect of Adewe is the fact that there's clear precedence in the case of Honorable Adamu Sakande. Because I'm a chief whip of the minority. Indeed, Adamu Sakande was one of my caucus members. I'm here. The stress, the problems that the gentleman had to endure. So what I say? But eventually, he suffered the penalty for it. And eventually passed on to his maker. And Eddie, I can appreciate the intentions of Omahine. I can appreciate the concerns of a lot of people about this matter. But unfortunately, the law is the law. And Achiwa, part of Chaupa pleadings, normally are there, no. When you show the judiciary, no, it is entirely at the discretion of Judge Kwa Wetina Assembly. I will be Bua. So Bua Assemina or find you Nipano for what is left really is the discretion to be determine the kind of sentencing or the Bema Nipano. Our heart goes out to the Honorable MP. Say Ebianka Amrano Uncle Banisa and Nasa and Amo 2 years and can go in. But Sana Kaku. Let us all look at what will come out of the court processes. Ebimpa Ombewi na the sentencing Kobamua. Ebia now out of the abundance of the heart of the president or say a grant your pardon. Na or the every fiasi. Perhaps for me that may be the light that we can hope to see at the end of this tunnel. But when you're a lawyer, and so me nim de kakra ewo amramu and then yamahu in terms of precedence no ebeyedi say asem way obebuano in any other way, because there is already prior evidence from the civil suit no ebua for amaya gina so you free parliament amaya ko by election. And that is evidence enough. And it's the same process that the Adamu Sakande could be prison. So, but it also calls for a bigger dialogue for all of us. Say you better choir, you better so a structure your processes no AB in terms of so me file me nomination with EC. Now EC then to me and check it. Say bia me odwazi bana me need dwazi na me call election ni we are thinking say bia there na me file ya no kra I go through near there what does it mean? it brings to my mind a issue be a mini GFA. For I used to have a football team also, Sumo FC. Now, your ball league, near ball league. Sata Obekai Okweune Nania for match be a 20 something
21 31 21
29 goes by, you know. So I league in the first half, na me team na a league no. Then second part of the league, you started here. That time Max Bees, no I turned 3 players amami.
So who must be? I turned 3 players, mami. Not knowing say they had some earlier cards B, which I had no way of knowing. Papa, we know I call cards now. Kotoma, Tema Youth, and another team. Now they are being holding protests for GFA against me. So by the time I ever started a second round, no, now your team no, 6 points, 6 goals for 2 matches. Your boy as penalty for fielding in quotes unqualified players. Meanwhile, GFA Kroya, based on cards and the amount, had given us cards, which meant they could play. So into some of these things, a very difficult situation. You move be a transit now. Yeah, the agree. Probably it calls for some bigger dialogue to look at the way we can manage our laws, and if we have to amend certain portions, we amend them. If we have to make provisions to safeguard some things, and so we do. But as the law stands today, may assure Sir Branton could be court and the answer court to be wonderful. Now, and then I go to FERC. Answer my call Professor Joseph Osafo as no Professor Kofi Jekum say yemfa fidie so na yemfa Jekum abusuana aseda ema obia onya kwan na wotwe awieye ebe jam wo mo ema ne ba ye ofase ye nua dubofo Jekum yedi ne na wotweda eni se odo bia ase bia oba beta na chi na wotwe bia mo amantimi ama mo frɛ no mo am sending messages mo bo mpaye de mo ne ade ni nyina no Professor Kofi Jekum na busua se odamo ase prof papa
Zake CDA maybe me twen kakra but mame ka part bi me say utie interviewer mo nuanom Joy FM4 a year office of the special prosecutor. That should be just about yes. And Kisi biggest challenge and fears are now back and say that chiefs and traditional rulers will interfere in his work. Okay, say and none adi usrupa. If he say Utuana mobi nebia yeah the facts yeah juma obinya calls Saki si drop it now coming this has been idea we're gonna have over the period for a long time the issue of bigmatism and jurisprudence say obia osun. It's something I've reflected on for a long time in Ghana. Say Obiswa, AI say also sembra. That's what it appears. And you know play out say Obine police be enya sembra obina kasakasa be awanda be breaking traffic offense be na wa free baby na say order from above. And it cuts it runs through so many institutions and systems I want. Sabe yentra ha embu bia kumfo ha mrakra ma kwansa yentwen na hwesi bekwakusi afa na ohwe some of the charges now press against say are making false claim, perjury, forgery and whatnot. What will come out yentwen na mo pata hama adwene and say empenyimfo bi nom case ba na ebitumi afa chi afre nipa oda no say drop this case main drop because of what I say nyina so bi anyina so no fair ɛyɛ nyina so a sɛ bi akyeakyea nyina so a ɛyɛ fair drop it because of ABC but ɛno nti na yɛwɔ atemmuo ɛwɔ hɔ no ɛho atemmuo mmara ɛboa yɛ ma yɛtena asomdwee so sɛnea obi ɛntumi ɛmfa sɛ ka mbɛgyina kwan mu sɛ me na hae me deɛ wa bɛtwam bia no mɛtwa wotu afi so na magye deɛ wɔwɔ deɛ atemmuo wɔ hɔ enti sɛ obi ho ba asɛm na yɛde kɔ court a ɛsɛ yɛnya abotrɛ na court no ka wie na yɛhu sɛ ɛkɔsii sɛn nipa no sɛbe mmara koraa sɛ obi kora mpo akwama yɛakyɛ no sɛ ɔwɔdi bɔne bi koraa no ɔsɛ wɔntumi mu no kumfɔ gye sɛ wode no akɔgyina mmara mu ma mmara no ankasa a law ɛfɛ no sɛ of competent jurisdiction atumi ahwɛ sɛ deɛ ɔyɛɛ no ɛnyɛ enti ɛwɔ sɛ mu no kumfɔ enti yɛntwɛn kakra na mo no yɛbɛsɛ yɛ mpanyimfoɔ no a yɛ ahemfo no sɛ nneɛma ɛte sɛ no anka ɔmɔnya ho abɔtrɛ kakra ɔmɔnya ho abɔtrɛ mɛma yɛn jump into certain very sensitive spaces like that sɛ yɛnyae na daakye biribi kɔsi a na yɛka no sɛn nti mo de mu yɛntwɛn na yɛma wɔn a yɛka asɛm no kwan na wɔnka na wɔmfa atemmu mmra ɛno na ɛboa sɛ de ba na ɔpanyin bi sɛ wei deɛ mede hyɛ no bi a na ɔdi fɔ anaa ɛka sɛ ɔdi bi ampa yɛbu ne bim ɔdi fɔ no nso yɛde yɛnsa ɛgu yɛnsa yɛm sɛ aban ɛhwɛ na anka ɔmfa nkyɛ no na yɛmfa nyɛ kɔkɔbɔ ɛmu bia ɛno saa no kyɛ sɛ you are appealing to for presidential clemency ne adeɛ na ɛba sɛ ɛyɛ akɔfa baabi a ɛnam yi a nana ɛmi sɛ ɔdeɛ ɛyɛ na ɛtoro kakra ɛtoro nti I have my say sometimes and kisi ɛkan paa sɛ it's a big issue for him say drop the case
prof ɛnyɛ no ne yɛayɛ abɛduru baabi a yɛduru
ɛnyɛ yɛn nana yɛn a so ɛnti me say bigmatism ɛne mmara a ɛde yɛ adwuma sɛ mmara a yɛ adwuma na wobɛfrɛ ho a na wofrɛ no wɔ baabi medana mebɛka wɔ ha na metu kwan akɔ the northern part of Norway metena hɔ kakra na mekɔ no mesɔre ntɛm kakra na ɛkwa no so wa ɛkwa no yɛ about 3.5 hours na mea mehu sɛ mabreki traffic offense ɛnte sɛ ha ɛhɔ no wowɔ camera a ɛsisi kwa no so at some distances ɛnti camera no pɛkɛ me sɛ ayɛ sɛ matraba ɛkwa mfimfini kakra for a considerable distance me drive a me nam me kwan nti dɛ sɛ car bi ɛɛba there could be a headlong collision police bi aspot me in the camera no were two car or dimechi mo se police na no wan kasa me stop you or pa me ho no call speed on the ban on nice me there no ko gina anim ho atwa me timi du ana o se o menyina me yamre me say yey asama ba o ga ha want me for big man bi ni ha and me friend why but watch what the police guy did. He engaged me. He didn't come on, he kasa me for him. Cause when I'm here, my research was on suicide. Ti ya bon como sa also na Ghana na he kasa na ya footballers here. He send me na omo na be was oyo. And I say, you know, men kasa be 35 minutes. I say I'm engaging because I saw you were dozing off. I was surprised. Why you miss go? Wan kasa me ntua na meeting ko man friend big man bio me friend big man na yedma pa o yon ko be ka say bajo man nko fa bi bra na me mango nti when you do these things you water down your own legal institutions and I was surprised to me kono many fine I miss me bio because the way I engaging me no I was really make a say I'm really shocked and surprised so we can make our system work. Why name is Sika? Miss Manfrobia, but on my first traffic offense. And I'll be a menamino or anima ubiemba, but I will cook exactly. Mamma cook, prefer for me cook. Mentia, hey, Messi, ha. Oh, Nanazaman Alcan. Or on combat just and humble call, no diaco. And over the period, we have really degraded our institutions. It be what I say. Ye nimsa in jurisprudence some bre and go for someone nigidie you can say yeah judicial system asemi wo hona so what say Ghana ni bi ka it tells you the kind of assessment that you want about legal institution and when I say asemi a foolish case what's that on that
no
I say oh me na me man because I say oh it's a foolish case. Now what is a foolish case? A foolish case simply means to the ordinary Ghanaian say legal institutions failed to dispense justice. That's what it means. And I have foolish case. Now what is because happen me bram because yeah the foolish case. Ndakro. Now ubi enim say where the other kwa me was kenti mema na in foolish case. Now see. And yeah when big men begin to push in legal institutions and say, oh, humans were made for the law, not the law for the women. I mean, I can't be any and I say, I know. She some open you can. Now, where's our pa? Can who say, or maybe legal institutions are a heart and training near the Nema 2 years. Nema wana ebu bra sabi bra bia bra money bi ensem fata ya twemaso na ama wonga woye decent citizen ebu ombra ama omaya akoso na atentrene be ya foolish case said ya bi mo kan no a me se obi sa obi sa asema bas ofa kokoso o amede kokota be ya foolish case we are actually robbing our legal institution that credibility. Say wombe to me ebu atentrene na aboye man na yembu man sa sani de bia meka han say o man chechere enye accidental is an intentional action you took an ambono in a certain way and the mesre ya hemfo no say sa spaces ne de o mo man yembu atani wie mom no mo fanko to sre mfanko ene ye better yebu na yemu entiani pa no so a na che say o afa no so no ko. That is the beauty of law. Say obi akọ court na embrane say ye muni kumfo. You can still appeal anyway. Go and appeal. Hey, and only a better sense say yeah because unya de sadi papa I say you are obstructing justice. Ma attention in yadwuma. Ujinam. Anso na che say ebi ana bibi so anko yi a e wo say yedi pa ne fa emra kwan so. And nobody will want, to have such a case on your head. Nobody. I mean, I am not happy for him, and very sad. Say, baby, sabeba. But enya bana ambrano, fane kwandia, yema kwan na ambrano fa kwan. Ni ehwe ABC.
Prof, anope yadawasi.
Menso
yadawasi. Honorable Paranza, anope yadawasi.
Yadawasi papa.
Yadawasi na minshira.
Yo.
Okay. Obviously, I am framing and I are casting with me. I frame the cardinal. I ha and an opaque so brave me a kwame edmosie. Metremo Emma Chairman General Kwame Safakai. Dr. Fanadexin Kennedy Asante says so for Kojasante. Stephen Bafo, Isaac Opoko, Peter Square, Pretty Joyce, and Nanaya Konedu Nebo Michidom.
Salatina salam, living in the world, my brother, living in the world, my sister, but you live in this world. You live in
yeah, you Solomon Edu, big solo, Papa solo.
Some are really gonna
Wenum Achia.
really go ahead. Yeah, we don't wanna
Okafu Didi,
we don't wanna know about
Speaker of Parliament.
yeah, we don't wanna go on.
Nidini Ebebri, Ene Yenia Solo, Solomon Edu of Peace FM, Property Manager, Odini birthday. Big Papa Solo, happy birthday from all of us, your colleagues,
Yeah, we don't wanna
Team Despite, SCMO Chinkwa. And there's an idea, baby, a woman. So let me need you, may train. May train pa. Coffee Cumbers and a mobile trunk of himself, Promober to fire the Castiabono Adremo. Damunya, Sesamunya, GAT, and the Radiasum, Ejamunya. Ramen and I, with me, a friend in the cardinal.